We are going to talk about the rules of volleyball. It's an amazing game. I love this game. There are various forms of volleyball. The one that we are going to talk about is a 6 versus 6 formats where you have 6 people on both sides of the net. Now the field is divided into 2 areas and separated by a net which is 8 feet high, and there are 2 antennas, so you need to hit above the net between the antenna and in the playing field. Once you get the ball, you need to hit above the net into the opponent's playing area, but it should go between the antennas. Now here is how it looks like from side. This is net. Now if we need to look at the field from the top, or the volleyball court from the top, this is how it's gonna look like. Each point starts with a service, and service a player needs to hit. Here the white team is serving, so they need to stand outside the court. So they need to stand outside this line somewhere over in this area, and they need to toss the ball, hit it by the hand, and it should fall in this green area. Volleyball is basically, you can think of your hand as a racket, and you can think of it like a racket sport, but your hands are your racket. So if you hit the ball anywhere in this area, the service is good. If the ball hits the line, then also it is good. If the ball hits the net and then it goes over into the other area, then also it is good. If the ball was going out but it hit the player, then also it is good. So in all these formats, the service is good. So when do we have a wrong serve, which is called as fault? So if a ball hits into the net, or if ball is outside this playing area, then it is called as a fault serve. And in that case, you lose the point and then the serve goes to the opposing team. Now, if you do a good serve, then the opponent would receive. So how opponent receive is they use their hands, they can pass it on to their team players, but ball should be in the air. If ball touches the ground, then the point ends. So ball needs to be in the air. You can pass it on to your teammate and then they can hit it over the net. Receiving team is allowed to have 3 touches. If they do more than 3, then they lose it. They can return it in 1, 2, or 3. All 3 are not necessarily need to be used, but they can use it. And why do they need 3 shots? You will understand right now. So the very first shot when you are receiving a serve is known as a pass. So in the pass, forearms are used because the serve comes at 83 miles per hour. That's massive. That's really fast. So you need to absorb the momentum of the ball, so you use your muscles of your forearms to take the control of the ball, absorb the momentum, and then your intention of the first shot is to put the ball in the center of the field, center of your side of the court. That would be the pass. Even if anyone receives the serve, the first shot is usually a pass, and the intention is to put the ball somewhere in the middle of the court towards the net. The second shot, so first shot is pass, the second shot is called as a set. In the set, what the players use their fingers and wrist. What they are trying to do is they are trying to set the ball for the next shot. So their intention is to set the ball near the net. If they set the ball near the net, then it's easier for their players to hit the ball. So that's the intention when you do the set. So first one is pass, you try to hit the ball in the center, and second one where you set the ball near the net. And the third shot is known as attack. Attack is basically player use their palm to slam the ball. They use their shoulder to generate the power, and they jump up in the air around 1.5 feet, and they just smash the ball into opponent's area with 80 miles per hour. That's really fast. And the intention is to hit the shot anywhere where the opponent doesn't have a player, so you win the point. As soon as ball hits the ground, you win the point. Now this attack shot is also known as spike, and the player is also known as hitter. When you're doing attack, the opponents can block your shot. So in that case, if you hit it, they block it and the ball falls into your area, then you lose a point. So you need to be aware of the blockers. Here, you do the first shot, which is pass. The second shot is a set. Now set is very tricky. Here, if 2 gives a set to that player, then the blockers would move closer to that player right here. Blockers comes here. Now, but one more possibility is 2 gives a ball to these players. So either he can hit it, or he can hit it, or she can hit it. So these blockers need to judge whether this player is going to hit it or this player is going to hit it. So they would have to guess. If they guess and they jump here And if this player hit, then they would block it, and it's not a good shot from this team because they have a blocker here. But if they hit a shot from here, if he just leave the ball is coming this way, and this player hits it, nobody's here, no blocker is here. They have more chances to win the point. This is where game gets very interesting. Once ball is passed, now setter can set here, setter can set here, here, anywhere. So a lot of anticipation is there as well. Now, one thing that you need to keep in your mind is block doesn't count as a hit. So a team is allowed to have 3 hits to pass the ball, but the block doesn't count. So in this case, let's say it hit the blocker's hand and it goes to the team, they would still have 1, 2, and 3 hits to get the ball back. The con is if the ball hits the blocker, then it is counted as an in. So let's say the ball was going way out, but it hit the blocker, then it would be counted as an in. So you would lose a point. So blocker need to be careful as well. Winner of current point gets to serve for the next point. So if white team is serving and they win the point, then they serve for the next point. They win the point, they serve for the next point. They keep on serving until they keep on winning the point. Once they lose the point, then serve would go to the black team. And then they would serve until they lose a point. They'll keep on serving till they are winning a point. Once they lose a point, serve goes back to the white team. 25 points are required to win one set with a difference of 2 points. What does it mean is, let's say there's a team A, you are team A, and let's say I am team B. You had 25 points, I have 15 points. The difference is 10. It's more than 2, so you won that set. 25-23, the difference is 2, you won that set. 25-24, the difference is 1. So you didn't really win this game, even though you have 25 points, because the difference is 1. So now you need to win 1 more point. So either you do 26 or I do 27. So you did 26 minus 24, 2. Again, you won. You're like a champion. You beat me all the time. Now, 25 points corresponding to 1 set. So you win a set if you win at 25 points. And you need to either win 2 sets or 3 sets depending upon which tournament you're playing. Here's the score. Let's say team A, team B, they have 5 sets. The first 4 sets are whoever wins 25 points with a difference of 2. But the last set is whoever wins 15 points with a difference of 2. So out of these 5 sets, you need to win 3 sets. The first 4 sets are 25 points. The last set is just 15 points, but you need to have a difference of 2. So let's talk about volleyball position. So volleyball field, we'll talk about the black team here. This area is known as a front zone and the other area is known as a back zone. So mostly you would hear front zone, back zone. And in the positions, there's an outside hitter, blocker, and different position. Let's talk about them in detail. So you see a green player here. One player would have a different jersey from all the players of a team. That person is the passer. That person is known as a libero. And that person's job is, or she is very skillful in passing the ball using the forearms, and they are very agile. So you have one libero in both the teams. Then there's a setter who sets the ball. So typically you would have 1 or sometimes maybe 2 setters. And then you have the hitter. So typically there are 3 hitters in the team. And then there's a blocker. So there's a 1 blocker mostly on the team. So the job of blocker would be to stand close to the net and block the shots. If you're a recreational player, whatever I've said so far should be good enough for you to go ahead and enjoy the volleyball. But if you want to go a little bit pro, then there's one very important concept you need to understand. That is rotation. It is a little bit tricky, but I'll try my best to explain it. This is very important if you're watching a pro match or if you want to be a pro player. So what is rotation? What is in rotation? And what is out of rotation? So what does rotation mean is, let's say you're player 6, then player 6 needs to be on this side of player 1, on this side of player 3, and on this side of player 5. So player 6 needs to be between these players. So player 6 can stand anywhere in this green area, then player 6 is in rotation. So for player 1 would look at player in front of them, or